Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here. Today we have another Pokemon Sword and Shield Crown Tundra moveset video guide on how to use Galarian Slowking. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this, so here you go. Of course, if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Apparently like 50% of you guys are not subscribed and you're watching my videos. You might as well. You help me out, you help me grow, and yeah, I'd appreciate it. But, you know, only if you like Pokemon. So, Galarian Slowking, let's talk a little about it. It is also Poison and Psychic type, just like Galarian Slowbro. And it's a better special wall and has stronger special attack than regular Slowking. So pretty cool, considering, you know, it got a nice little type, I want to say a type increase almost, but I'm not sure like if I can call it that. It's just Poison and Psychic is really good because you're not weak to Toxic, right? You're not weak to Toxic. And you also threaten Pokemon like Fairy types, and you also threaten like fat Pokemon like Toxapex. So I love it because of its ability to just threaten those Pokemon. It also has really nice moves, like the really good move pool. And honestly, the only thing this thing is missing is Toxic itself. Unfortunately, I can't learn it because of what they did with this metagame. I wish though, I wish. But anyway, so it has better special defense than Galarian Slowbro, and with that base 110 special attack, very viable. So we're going to be talking about the Future Sight Assault Vest set first. The idea behind this is you have the Assault Vest, you can tank random hits like a Specs Latios's Draco, or like a Specs Keldio's Hydro Pump or anything like that, and threaten them back with either, well, Sludge Bomb Poisons, or just using it as a pivot basically. But it can also come in on things like Clefable if you're playing with an OU, or if you're in lower tiers. It can come into tank like a Flamethrower from Chandelure. Watch out for like Specs Shadow Ball. But just special attacks coming out really. And with Sludge Bomb, that's your second stab. Sludge Bomb is the 30% chance to poison. You have Flamethrower for steel types, and you have Scald for ground types, as well as that 30% chance to burn the opponent. Future Sight's cool because when you pair it with partners like, for example, fighting types that invite in opposing fairy types or poison types, and they bring them in as they go for close combat, then they're actually hit after with the Future Sight, which can allow you to break through Pokemon. So it's nice. It's kind of what regular Slowking did a lot of the time. The only difference is that regular Slowking has Dragon Tail in its arsenal, and this one does not. So it actually can't force things out, but like with Dragon Tail, it'd be cool because you'd be able to force Pokemon out and then hit with a Future Sight upon switching. But that's using it as an Assault Vest Pokemon, the ability to switch up moves, obviously, but not use any status or anything like that for the boosted special defense. Like the trade-off is the boosted special defense. Next up we have Trick Room Galarian Slowking. Now, Trick Room Slowking is pretty cool because, again, base 110 special attack stat is really nice. And honestly, Sludge Bomb plus Flamethrower hits a lot of Pokemon not named Heatran. So, you're going to run heavy duty boots on this thing. I think it's a pretty good Trick Room setter because, again, it's a status absorber and it has regen as well. It's a shame it does not have teleport like Slowbro. It's a real big shame that this Pokemon doesn't get teleport like regular Slowbro and Slowking, because, man, it'd be so good to just be able to pivot it on fat Pokemon and not care about status and just go. But heavy duty boots, that way you don't get or take hazard damage. Obviously, if you don't care about heavy duty boots, you can run Black Sludge as a reliable recovery. Max HP. Max special attack if you are running Nasty Plot, because Nasty Plot allows you to boost your special attack +2 and make Sludge Bomb and Flamethrower very threatening. So not only do you set Trick Room for great partners like Marowak, Crawdon, Conkeldurr respectively, but also you can be an offensive presence with that Sludge Bomb and Flamethrower. But if you want to run a more defensive variant, I'd advise maybe just maxing out defenses with this Pokemon, max HP, max defense, or even just a mixed sort of spread to hit a benchmark that you want. But otherwise, max special attack, max HP, quiet nature, 0 speed IVs. That way you can be the slowest, and that may in the Trick Room you are the fastest. Next up, we have Calm Mind, physically defensive Galarian Slowking. Now, this mon does face a lot of competition from Galarian Slowbro as a Calm Mind Pokemon. However, it does have higher special defense, which, you know, might help in taking on special attackers. I mean, that's the big thing, right? Like, that's a really like, oh wow, really? Yeah, but that's the actual case. Like, it's the niche it has over it is the fact that like it can take on the special attackers that are coming at it before a boost. So, Calm Mind, Slack Off. Slack Off is your reliable recovery. You have the heavy duty boots there. You can also run like Cobra Berry, but heavy duty boots is nice. You don't have to worry about hazards at all. and you still absorb toxic spikes even with heavy duty boots. Your third move is either going to be Scald or Sludge Bomb. Scald gives you an option versus ground types, hit powered on and things like that. Whereas Sludge Bomb is your stab, and it gives you a 30% chance to poison. And then Flamethrower is the final move. I think having a move that can actually damage steel types is very important, especially in a Pokemon that has 2 stabs that are either resisted or just don't hit the Pokemon in general. So Flamethrower can be nice for those steel types. Cool for like Pokemon like Celesteela, obviously. Cobalion, I think physically defensive Slowking can deal with Cobalion pretty well, considering you take close combat really well, and Iron Head isn't the strongest move, so having that Flamethrower there. You can always use Psyshock as well if you want it on this Pokemon too, if something like Como is annoying for you, like a Body Press, Stealth Rock, Taunt Como. So if you want to do more damage to that, because if they have the bulletproof ability, you can't hit them with Sludge Bomb. But either way, you'll still beat them 1v1, be it like Slack Off and switching out with Regenerator. Choice Spec Slowking is really cool because it hits very, very hard. And it also has Trick in its arsenal, so not only can it hit hard, but it can also cripple a bulkier Pokemon. So of course you're going to want to have the Sludge Bomb. That is your best stab. The EV spread is just modest, max HP, max special attack. You can go a little bit speed if you want to maybe outspeed something like Toxapex, but it really depends on what is in the tier you're playing. Right now Slowking is currently UU, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's currently UU, so you're not going to fight a Toxapex, so unless you bring it up to OU. But who knows, it might even drop down more. So you can put speed depending on where you at. Maybe you want a little bit of speed for like Pokemon like Delmires or anything. But Sludge Bomb is your most spammable move, because if they don't have a steel type, you're going to be hitting everything with that 30% chance of poison. Your second move is a psychic type attack, either Psyshock or Eerie Spell. Eerie Spell is, oh by the way, these are all running Regenerator, because I should have mentioned that before, but Curious Medicine doesn't really do anything for this Pokemon, at least in singles. In Own Temple, I mean, not being confused or immune to Intimidate. Why would I want that when I can have the Regenerator and get the health back every single time I switch this Pokemon back in, you know? So Psyshock will help you hit like blobs better on the physical defensive side, whereas, and also Calm Mind Pokemon harder. Whereas Eerie Spell is really cool because it's also 80 base power, but, and it only has APP, but it makes the opponent lose PP on the last move they use. So it's pretty cool if you want to PP stall somebody. And then your last move is Fire Blast. Fire Blast over Flamethrower because you are Choice Specs, you are a Pokemon of power, you want to hit hard. So that's why you got that Fire Blast on there. And then you have Trick, and Trick is just there, again, can cripple a fat Pokemon, for instance, like Chansey. It can help you cripple Chansey. It's funny because like this Mon just naturally can tear through defensive typings like Amoonguss, Chansey, Tangrowth, things like that. So like it doesn't really care about most of those Pokemon and can just do a lot. And its natural special defense also lets it eat hits naturally from Pokemon like Rotom. So that's cool. But yeah, just using it as a more offensive option. I think Specs is going to be very fun. I think Assault Vest is going to be pretty good too. I do think that currently the Neon X, big shout out to him again for the help. I hope I said it in the beginning, but if I didn't, my bad. I completely forgot. But great dude, and he's helping me. I'm actually going to have him on some videos as well coming up. I had him on a few videos a few years ago. Next up we have Block. Now Block is really cool because it means your opponent cannot switch, and the reason Block is cool is because not only is this Pokemon immune to being poisoned, which is unless it's like Salazzle with Corrosion, but which is awesome because fatter teams have to worry about it. But its Eerie Spell move, like I said, it removes 3 PP from the target's last move. So let's say somebody went for, I don't know, knockoff, right? They knocked off your item and you're able to take it. Like you can remove 3 PP every single time, or maybe a better one is like Scald. Because Scald has a decent amount of HP, but PP, but you could take away from it. So you can block something, right? You block them, they can't switch. Then you Eerie Spell them, that way they have no more of that attack. And then you could slack off for the reliable recovery. And then your last move is really up to you. Now this thing has Toxic Orb or Black Sludge. The reason we have Toxic Orb is because there's no Toxic on this Pokemon, but tricking the Toxic Orb to something after blocking them, you'll be able to wear them down. And plus you could just take it back after. That's a really cool option. If you don't want to run that, you can run the Black Sludge as a recovery option too. And yeah, the special attack, the defense lets you take like a knockoff from Max Attack Conch Elder Guts. The special attack lets you knock out Conch with Stealth Rock into 2 turns of burn. So basically, if Conch is taking Stealth Rock damage, take a little bit of damage. Eerie Spell can knock it out. It also hits like harder on Pokemon like Keldeo and just Pokemon weak to Eerie Spell basically. And if you don't want to use Trick with Toxic Orb, which I think is very fun, you can use Sludge Bomb or Flamethrower in that slot. Flamethrower obviously for Steel types, but you can still trap, steel, test, block, and still use Eerie spell because again it's a psychic type attack, not a poison type attack, and just stop them from going for their attacks. And you know, if a Pokemon, let's say you took all of something's close combat, or you took all of something's earthquake or whatever, even though you're weak to earthquake. If you take it all and you go out to a Pokemon that's also weak to earthquake, let's say for instance a Blaziken, right? If the opposing Landorus can't use earthquake anymore because you've taken them, though you're gonna lose 1v1 Landorus unless you burn it or something. Blaziken can just set up freely. So that's just an example. Obviously not a good example, but an example of how that you can use that to your advantage. And then the last set we have is a Disable set. Because Disable is pretty cool, because Disable plus Eerie spell means that you can stop them from going for a move and then take their PP on other moves as well. Sub Disable allows you to sub up on fatter Pokemon, for instance, that you naturally resist, like a Mungus. So you can sub up on a Mungus, and then you can, whenever they switch out to a Pokemon, you can always, let's say they go out to Crocodile and it's like a Choice Scarf for Crocodile. They go out to it to avoid an Eerie spell as you go for sub, and then they go for knockoff their Scarf. As you go for Disable after, you can get another sub after that. So Black Sludge is the preferred item, just so you have the reliable recovery. If you don't want to use sub, you can use Slack Off, of course, and if you use Slack Off, you can run Heavy Duty Boots on this Pokemon too. And then your last move, either Sludge Bomb or Scald. Special Defense helps you better take on moves from like 2 Spec Scalds from Keldeo, lets you eat 2 Dracos from Lottie, and just things like that, where the rest is just put into defense to help kind of balance it out. Slowking has just good natural bulk, so kind of balancing out, hitting a benchmark with special defense and then balancing out on the defense really does help it get the most out of its stats, in my opinion. But yeah, Disable can be really fun, just for getting rid of Pokemon, so, and just stopping them like choice locked Pokemon. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today on Galarian Slowking. We'll be using it later today. If you guys did enjoy, leaving a like, subscribing, letting me know really does help me out. Also, feel free to tell me what you guys are using for this Pokemon, because I'm always open to trying out new sets and whatnot. And there's a lot of things this Pokemon has. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.